We don't know what will happen if the crisis which you are alluding to in Taiwan Strait, as to how it will play out in whatever time frame. But one thing is certain, that nations are putting in money to develop the platforms after a lot of study. It is not just on whims and fancies of one individual or one service. It is a whole of government decision which is taken, that we need to invest in with different kind of weapons, platforms, etc., etc. And coming per se to the Navy, we are the force which operate on surface, we operate in the air, we operate underwater, and of course add to that the cyber domain, the space. So we are a 5-dimensional Navy actually. And therefore, if you have to deter, the whole thing starts with deterrence. If you have to deter an adversary so that he cannot or he should not infringe on our sovereignty, or he should not do anything which is untoward, which is not accepted to us as a country, then we have to ensure that we have the deterrence capability. And those deterrence capabilities are exemplified in terms of weapons, sensors, equipment, and capabilities which the Navy has got. The second, of course, is we need to deploy, and that is physical deployment of assets. And a Navy which cannot deploy cannot deter. You cannot sit in harbor and say, I have got this capability. So you have to demonstrate, you have to go out at sea, and you have to demonstrate the capability, whether it is in terms of surface warfare, undersea warfare, air warfare, space warfare. So all kinds of things you have to actually demonstrate. And in that sense, the platforms which you have named, I think they have still got a role to play. There is adequate, I would say, redundancy in terms of securing those assets, and especially in a maritime domain where assets are moving, 500 miles within 24 hours. So you may be detected. Today, you can be just assured the battle space is so transparent that everything and anything can be detected.